Returning back to the world of Burst Protocol. You guys smash the link crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oscar. I read a couple of funny haha comments online from people that were freaking out, that Burst Protocol has already dropped in price, and it's like, a little bit. So we're going to go over this just to kind of see how the set is holding up right now. Right now, crowns are coming in $263 on the top end. I mean, this is to be pretty expected at this point. I mean, this is the chase card and the set. Albaz is still chasing about $245 plus. I'm honestly not surprised to see this one still being one of the chases out of today's set. And, still people are going to continue to pick these up. It's actually interesting. There are more of these on the market than there are less of these on the market than crowns. That's interesting. The Ecclesia and the Dark Dragon, you're just playing this as a fallen, and well, I mean, if you're playing Branded, you're playing this for the ability to be able to toggle out any piece you want, but also on the same time, if you're playing Fallen and Virtuous in the Splash package, this is just going to be a really expensive Starlight that you'll be able to fling at your opponent and laugh at, or with them, rather, that you have such an expensive piece. I don't know, man. People like their bling. They really, really do. So 3 cards, very expensive. The Twin Tempest Deities. This is very interesting. We've dropped down to $80 a piece. Now, do I think that, this is probably where they're going to settle? I'm kind of expecting about 60, probably long-term for these. The thing is, it's a Starlight rare. It's a 2 to 3 of. Radiant Typhoon feels like a very good deck, this format. This is going to be one of those things where we're just going to have to kind of relax and see if it's going to just do its thing. Spentas are still $90. I mean, sure. Fallen and White Secret Rares are $80. This card is now officially more expensive than Crown, everybody. Take a second to think about that. You've got an $80 Secret Rare in a set. What a great time to be on the market. I mean, this is going to actually help values a lot in boxes, because people are going to be opening this. They're going to be chasing this. They're going to be like, oh, hey, my box now has value. Yes, it does. Shalus coming in at 64, which is not bad. Looks like Stardust Dragon Assault modes. These are still $50. I'm surprised these have not tanked down a lot more. To be fair, I see we had a market price at 74, and that's not, I actually just had a $70 one, so really? Huh. I don't know. I guess maybe people see the light play and they freak out, but the reality of the situation is, if you're going to play the gosh darn card, it's already going to get light played into oblivion anyway. So, you may as well, just make sure you've got the right call for it. The Radiant Typhoon Eldion, 57. That's not bad. Tenia is still a $66 card. I don't know, man. I find this very interesting that the Elf Note here is actually maintaining a decent price point. Exosister Carmel, still $58. All right. Dark Lord Morningstar, still $50 over the weekend here. That's interesting. Lucina's coming in at 68. Looks like Forbidden Crowns have dropped down to $60. Interesting. I wonder, this will depend on how it's going to perform at the 300th, honestly. If it shows up in every sort of deck in the 300th, or, you look at a meta deck and you're like, oh, hey, this is the reason why so-and-so's list was choosing to play this, then you're going to see, players gravitating to pick these up. The fact that these have dropped down and Fallen of White has taken its place on the top of the food chart is very interesting. Chart Brigade Brigand's Kits coming in at 48. Elf Note Seraphims. These are still 50s, honestly. Interesting. Invoke Majestus, this card's going to do terrible things. Ripper M is already a $30 Starlight rare. I guess this is what happens when you limit the canine stuff. Sorry for the water today. I have acid reflux from the sickness that we had, which, I guess is a health update, so it's progress, according to the doctor. a Boral Shroud coming in at 28s. Wow, Double Logical Blaster Dragon is a $17 Starlight Rare. If only this card was actually good. Like, that would have been the only major thing I would have liked. Finitio coming in at 30. Alright. Rocket Loader coming in at 29. Looks like Mercurium is starting to get a little bit lower on listings. We're down to 18 at $29. Archfiend Emperor coming in at 17. Archfiend Royal coming in at 22. The Wambulance coming in at sub 20. Lucina's coming in at 25s as well for secrets. Quick Attackers down to 15s. I mean, hey, if you wanted to bling out Rescue Ace, I mean, this isn't a terrible time to do it, honestly. And it looks like the Ecclesia and the Dragons, $20. I love the fluctuation here on things. So right now you can get the Twin Tempest Deities for about $16 to $17 a piece. I don't really feel like that's terrible. If these do hit $10 though, I think people are going to freak out and they're going to start to buy these a lot. Tinia's coming in $6. Tri-Brigade Brigands Kit $6. And then eventually, you know, you do hit the bottom of the barrel here. Mercurium being under $1 is actually hilarious. Remember, TCG said it's a broken card. We have to pick it up, right? Right. God, this set is such an interesting spectacle. All right. Spiritual Water Art Owie. Why are people freaking out about this like every other day? I feel like I miss the memo every time this card comes into discussion because either people just don't fully grasp that this card is like good, or we're just left in an awkward situation where people just automatically point to Sky Striker. You know, Frogs and Edison do in fact exist, right? This is one of those key things. And I mean, like, these aren't even that expensive. These are like $18 on up to, you know, 19 to 20. I mean, this card is an old OTS super rare. I don't know why you're freaking out, because this is what old OTS super rares end up doing. They go for money. Mystical Space Typhoons. Well, to nobody's, and I mean nobody's surprise, it looks like players playing Radiant Typhoon have been getting their luxury rarities. Get a... looks not even like a good one, but 133. You can also get another very light play for 143. I love the $10 difference when they're both light play, but sure, man. And then 143, 150, and then you can get a German down here for $290. Some Unobtainium. Meanwhile, you know, you can get quarter centuries of these for a little bit more affordable range, in my opinion. These coming in about 29s. I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's like, why get the super expensive, even more expensive rarities when I can just get the, you know, acceptable mid-range rarity? Mulcharmies. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to these, but quantities on these are starting to get a little bit dangerous on the market. We're down to 16 listings on Perulian. I mean, Perulia right now is a pretty decent Mulcharmy. The fact that you're able just to start getting advantage off of the Radiant Typhoon player, the fact that you can also, you know, get advantage from the Vanquish Soul player, this is not a bad card whatsoever. So I found that interesting that these are about to be $12 a copy. And then Fuas are also doing the exact same thing for the Legendary Collection versions. These are 17 listings right now. At about you are going to eventually hit $12 a piece here. So I thought that was something that was a little bit interesting to kind of include today, because off we go. Medius the Pure. This is the sneak peek version. This is your secret rare. There are only 3 listings on the market for this right now. I repeat, 3 listings on the market. And we actually cracked the wall at $45 a piece. You know how crazy that is to think about just in the long term? I don't know. Today's market's just a little bit more cleanup of things. I'm slowly working on getting better. And you guys have a good rest of your day, all right? Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.